ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਦਸਾਂ ਗੁਰੂਆਂ ਦੀ ਜੋਤ ਸਰੂਪ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਮੁਕੱਦਸ ਗੋਦ ਦਾ ਆਨੰਦ ਮਾਣ ਰਹੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਆਓ ਬੁਲੰਦ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰੂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਬਖਸ਼ੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਈਏ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਹੁਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਹਜ਼ੂਰੀ ਰਾਗੀ ਭਾਈ ਸ਼ਬੇਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਜਥੇ ਤੋਂ ਮਨਮੋਹਕ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ। ਆਪ ਜੀ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹੋ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਦਿਨ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਾਜਨਾ ਦਿਵਸ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਦੇ ਸੰਦਰਭ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਮਨਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਵੈਸੇ ਤਾਂ ਦਿਨ ਦੇ ਦਿਨ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ 13 ਅਪ੍ਰੈਲ ਤੇ 14 ਅਪ੍ਰੈਲ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਮਨਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ, ਪਰ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਦੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਰੱਖੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਦਿਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਰੱਖੇ ਗਏ ਹਨ। ਸਾਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ, ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਜਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਦੇ ਦਿਹਾੜੇ ਦੀਆਂ, ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਾਜਨਾ ਦਿਵਸ ਦੇ ਦਿਹਾੜੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੱਖ ਲੱਖ ਵਧਾਈਆਂ ਹੋਣ ਜੀ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਵਿਸ਼ੇਸ਼ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਵਿਖੇ ਅਚੱਚੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਲੋਕਲ, ਸਟੇਟ ਅਤੇ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨੁਮਾਇੰਦੇ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰੀਆਂ ਭਰ ਕੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੰਗਤ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਦਿਨ ਨੂੰ ਮਨਾਉਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹਨ ਜੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਆਉਣ ਤੇ ਨਿੱਘਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਆਇਆਂ ਆਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ। ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਮੈਂ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਏ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਪਤਵੰਤੇ ਸੱਜਣ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਸਕਣ ਅਤੇ ਆਨੰਦ ਮਾਣ ਸਕਣ ਜੀ। Our dear distinguished guests from various spectrums of political parties, on behalf of Australian Sikh Association and Gurudwara Glenwood Sahib, I welcome you all to our sacred Gurudwara, Glenwood Sahib Ji, which is the largest Sikh institution in Australia and the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. We have among our congregation today a lot of delegates. I'll name them individually. First and foremost, Honorable Alex Hawke, Minister of Immigration, Citizenship, Migrant Services and Multicultural Affairs. Michelle Rowland, MP Greenway and Shadow Minister for Communications. She has been associated with this Guru Car for a long, long time. Ms. Jodie Mackay, MP from Strathfield, Labour New South Wales and Opposition Leader in the New South Wales Parliament. Mr. Kevin Connolly, who's another long-standing friend of our Guru Car. He's the MP from Riverstone and he's the Parliamentary Secretary for Education as well. Our new friend David Shoebridge, who is a Greens member of Legislative Council New South Wales, and he's from Greens Party New South Wales. He's a very active environmentalist, social justice activist. We have got from our local council Deputy Mayor Julie Griffiths and Dr. Maninder Singh, our homegrown councillor, and we've also got Mr. Stephen Bali, who is the MP from Blacktown. They're all from New South Wales Labour. We've got our local area command, police command representatives, Mr. Jason Shaw and Rajiv Sharma. And we've also got members of our Blacktown Greens team. We've got Michael Hedden and Tida Young from Multicultural New South Wales. And lastly, we've got Sneha Chatterjee from Home Affairs Department, Federal Government. I'm sorry if I've forgotten anybody's name. Once again, on behalf of our Sangat, the congregation, the ASA, we welcome you all to celebrate this auspicious day with us today. To commence today's proceedings, I would like to share a brief rundown of the program. First of all, the dignitaries will be invited to address the congregation for 2-3 minutes, and say a few words on the auspicious day of Vaisakhi. Secondly, the delegates will be giving away awards, recognition to our high achievers, community leaders, and volunteers for their selfless service to the Gurudwara operations. Thirdly, after the delegates give out the awards, the ASI will give you an appreciation memento for your efforts in coming and sharing the celebration of today's event, Vaisakhi, with our local Sikh community. So first off the cab rank is Honorable Alex Hawke, please.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today, to the ASA, and to all of you. It's so wonderful to see the Gurudwara Sahib with so many people, with the life of the temple again here on display today. I want to start by acknowledging all of the dignitaries who are present. We have the local member, Michelle Rowland, the opposition leader, Jodie Mackay, Kevin Connolly, a local state member, and David Shoebridge from the Legislative Council, and Stephen Barley, the Mayor and Deputy Mayor, and other councillors, I think Councillor Bill Tyrrell as well. I also acknowledge the traditional owners of the land and respect their elders, past, present and emerging. Well, firstly, happy Vaisakhi to you all. It's an amazing time to be here after a very difficult year. And in particular, on behalf of the Prime Minister Scott Morrison, the Australian Government, I wanted to say a big thank you to the Sikh community in Australia, in particular for the work that you have done during one of the most difficult events Australia has faced in a century. And you've been true to the faith and the community that you have. Your gift of food and feeding people, part of the principles of your ancient religion. In the last 12 months, whether it is in fires or through floods or through the pandemic, all of us have seen on television the army of Sikhs who were feeding people that have lost everything. People in the fires who had lost everything. People in the floods who had lost everything. And people during the pandemic who were going through very difficult and isolated times. The one thing we saw regularly was Sikhs, the turbans, people turning up with the food to feed those people. And I can only say to your community, very, very much from the hearts of Australian people, thank you. Thank you for caring, thank you for doing, thank you for practicing your faith, thank you for being true to your beliefs and making a huge difference to the lives of so many people over the course of the last 12 months. It's truly something to reflect on this Vaisakhi, and I do. And in a year where we have had great challenge and Australia has performed, I think, better than anywhere else in the world today, Australia has come through it more united, more cohesive than great countries in Europe, than perhaps great countries like America that are very fractured, very polarised along economic or class lines or social lines. But here in Australia, people have come together, they've stayed together, and we've gotten through this better than anywhere else. And today, as we spare a moment for all the rest of the world, and sometimes in their third wave, sometimes in their fourth wave of disease, thousands of cases a day, hundreds and thousands of deaths everywhere else in the world today, and we say a prayer for all of them. We also take a moment to acknowledge again the great social cohesion that has come from all of our communities. And as Minister for Multiculturalism, I know a great part of that success has been the strength of this community, the Sikh community. So I pay tribute to you on behalf of our Prime Minister, on behalf of the Australian Government. Thank you for being the great caring community that you are, for looking after other people, and please keep feeding everyone. People love the food, people love the care, people love the spirit that you bring to Australia and through every disaster we've had. And again, I just want to offer on behalf of the Australian people, a great thank you for it. Happy Vaisakhi. I look forward to the celebrations. It's a very special, special day, a very special, special week. And I know around Australia, Australian Sikhs are celebrating with us here today. Thank you.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਹਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾੜੀਆਂ ਕਲੈਪਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ ਪਰਹੇਜ਼ ਕਰੋ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ। I would now request Alex Hoke to give awards to two of our young people, Anurag Sobti, Jaskirat Tingra. They have, for the first time, they have entered the competition Amazing Race on Channel 10, and they have become runners up, which is a very good achievement, and they've been ambassadors to our Sikh religion on national TV for so many weeks. Thank you so much for your efforts and your success. We are really proud of you. The next one is Gurvijay Singh Patti. Sat Sri Akal. So we have got our next receiver, Mr. Gurvijay Singh Patti. Patti Paji has been involved in a lot of activities with the current management committee, and he's been helping us with all the problems we had with the Harris Park area and the violence. We thank him for his services and providing us with the timely help with the committee to share the burden of writing letters and drafting things. So now I would ask Prithpal and Jatinder to give out a memento to dear Alex Hoke for his effort to come to the temple today. Thank you very much, Alex. Now I would quickly request the two boys, Anurag and Jaskirat, if you want to say something quickly for 1 minute, please. Thank you.
Am I on this side or am I on that side? Doesn't matter.
Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. First of all, happy Vaisakhi to everyone. I just wanted to say thank you to ASA for this recognition. We're very humbled. We also wanted to give a massive shout out to our friends, family, and the extended Sikh community for all the support. It's been absolutely overwhelming. Jazz, would you like to say?
Yeah. Sat Sri Akal. As Anurag said, big thank you to friends, family, ASA, and on top of that, everybody here today. Over the last couple of months, we have received immense amount of support for what we've done. It's just put a massive smile on our face. So thank you, everybody. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.
Thank you, gentlemen. The next guest is our Michelle Rowland. She'll come here to say a few words, and then we'll get the award ceremony get through. Thank you, Michelle.
Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. I'm very honoured to be here for this most auspicious occasion of Vaisakhi and thank the Australian Sikh Association and all its members very sincerely for the opportunity to say a few words and to join you. This isn't the first time I've been back since we've been able to gather together during and after the pandemic, but let's all remember that we need to stay safe, but it is wonderful that we're able to do it in person this year again. And again, I recognise how difficult the last 12 months have been for this community and, of course, for Australians and right around the world. But in all that, Sikh values have come to the fore. The way in which the responses to everything from bushfires to assisting people during COVID, not just with food, but also with spiritual needs, and certainly not based on any religion either or any cultural background. It didn't matter where you came from during the floods, it was very clear that Australian Sikhs were there living out their values. And I must say too that this is of course over and above what is already done in our local community. I know for a fact how many thousands of people are fed by this community, how many people are assisted during very hard times, and again, it doesn't matter what your background is, because Sikhism demands that everyone be treated equally and assisted where care is required. It would be remiss of me not to comment as a Glenwood resident on the fact that so many local constituents have been very concerned about activities over the past couple of months in particular. This is a peaceful, family-driven suburb, so it has disturbed me greatly that some people have felt unsafe even going out onto the streets and to go for their daily walks, for example. And I know this has been a concern because it's been raised with me directly. So I would like to, in particular, thank the representatives from New South Wales Police who are here today. Australia is the most successful multicultural nation in the world, and their efforts in helping to assist in what has been a very difficult time has certainly not gone unnoticed, and we sincerely thank them for everything that they are doing. And just as it is their job to ensure that there is peace and harmony in our communities, so too it is my job as a local MP to speak up in the democratic process of our parliament for what I believe is right. So I was very pleased to be able to do that about the current situation that is going on in India, and I know that this is an issue that is very close to the hearts of so many people. And with that, I would like to wish you all a very happy Vaisakhi. Look forward to a really optimistic and positive year ahead, and I look forward to continuing to join you as your local MP in this fantastic community. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.
Michelle, if you don't, at this side, please. Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle, for your continued support to the Sikhs and this temple. The receivers of the award are the HSC High School Achievers Award. Manmeet Singh, he got 99.37%. Khushi Verma, 98.90%. Jaskaran Singh, 98.75%. The next one is a very special girl, Jasmeet Kaur, who topped the Punjabi language in the state. So we are very proud of Jasmeet Kaur. Marcus Dosanjh, 97.7%. Aneet Kalra, 97.55%. Amrit Senga, 96.60%. And lastly, Manjot Singh Patel, 95.80%. Congratulations to all the high achievers in this year's HSC exams. We are really, really proud of you, and we hope you become a very good ambassadors of our religion and serve the state and the people and the country to the best of your abilities. Thank you very much.
न्यू आवाज़ घट आई हुई सी
And could you please give way to somebody who wants to come here? This girl is the Punjabi proper language in the state of New South Wales. So many congratulations to Jasmeet Kaur. So this I believe is Marcus. The next one is Ernit Color. So all these worthy students are, the first one, Manmeet Singh is getting a $500 voucher, Kushi Verma is getting a $300 voucher, and all the rest recipients are getting $200 vouchers for their efforts, and we sincerely recognize your achievement. Thank you.
So 500, 200, 300 and 200.
Yeah. So the last one is Manjot Singh Patel. Thank you, young man. So all the students, we request them to get behind Michelle, or just make a space so that your photos can be taken. Bole so nihal. So after this photo, I'll request the co-presenters to please give a thank you memento to Michelle. So, thank you, Michelle, for your visit today. Thank you so much. Okay, next guest is Jody Mackay, Shadow Minister of Multiculturalism and Opposition Leader in the Parliament of New South Wales. I really apologize, I forgot to name one of our distinguished guests, Mr. Bill Tyrrell from Parramatta Council. So I apologize again, sorry, I forgot your name. This is my first time on the dais, by the way. So, Jody Mackay, please come to the dais. Oh, you're already here.
I'm already here. Thank you so very much. And can I start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to elders past and present. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. I just want to thank the Australian Sikh Association for the very kind invitation to be here at the Gurudwara. Last year we couldn't meet for Vaisakhi, and I think that was so difficult on so many of you. But we can meet for Vaisakhi this year, and it makes me reflect on the meaning of Vaisakhi, which is the birth of Sikhism in 1699, when those values of Sikhism became real, when those values of Sikhism were born. And those very values are what we saw on display last year when we were in the middle of COVID. Not only did you feed members of the Sikh community, but you were also there to support our international students and those on a temporary visa who were left behind by government. It was your community that stepped in to make sure these visitors to our country were looked after, and I thank you sincerely for that. I was with many of you over a number of weekends, and I saw the huge effort that you put in, and that is because you are Sikh. That is because the values you hold dear are values that are real, are values that you put into practice, and I thank you sincerely for that. So a very happy Vaisakhi to everyone. I love coming to the Gurudwara. You always make me feel so welcome, and please know we're always there to support you as well. Thank you, everyone.
Waheguru Ji, taੜियाँ, please, नहीं ताड़ियाँ नहीं मानी, please. Waheguru Ji, thank you. And the co-presenters for these awards, the next series is Jatinder Singh and Panj Piyaras. These awards are for selfless service to the Guru Care. First one is Jaya Virdi, then Dr. Anmol Singh. Please get ready to come near the stage. That's nice. I hope this little girl learns from her mom to serve at the Gurudwara as well. So thank you, Jayaji, again for your services. We really appreciate your help. Next one, Dr. Anmol Singh, and then Hardeep Singh. Dr. Anmol Singh has been associated with their treasury functions, and he comes here every week for the last so many years, counting the offerings at the Gurudwara. So we thank you. Hardeep Singh. Okay. And the next one is Jaswant Singh Roy, Rishpal Singh, Baltej Ko, Nitin Verma, and Gagan Singh Gill. I request all of you to please come near the stage. Thank you, Panji, for your services. And this gentleman is taking the award on behalf of Rishpal Singh Ji, who had to rush to the hospital to get his wife. She had operation recently. And the next one, Nitin Verma. Thank you, Nathan Ji, for your services. We really appreciate your work. Who's the last one? Gagan Singh Gill, if he's here, please come to the dais. Yeah, he's there. He's the last one.
The same time with Baltej. एजुकेशन था
नहीं वो जो होना लिस्ट बनी हुई है वहाँ
अच्छा ओके
कंटेंट Thank you, Jyoti. Please, all the recipients, if you can please get around Jyoti to take a photograph. बोले सो निहाल And our next speaker is our local MP from Riverstone, Mr. Kevin Conley. So I request Mr. Conley to come to the lectern, please, to say a few words.
Thank you, Ravi, and thank you to the committee of the Australian Sikh Association and to each and every one of you for giving me the opportunity to celebrate Vaisakhi here with you today. As we've heard from other speakers, it is a great pleasure to be able to celebrate in person once again. We all, right throughout the community, missed so many things of importance to us in the last 12 months, and I know celebrating Vaisakhi is an important occasion for you and for many in the broader community who share this joy with you. So it is a wonderful thing that we are back together today to do this. The Sikh community in Glenwood and surrounding areas has a great name for being a law-abiding, friendly, generous community that reaches out to the needs of others. That reputation has been won over many years of your participation in our regional community. And it's exemplified in my mind by the wonderful role models that we saw up here earlier on in Jaskarat and Anurag, who in that TV show did your community proud. They lived out the tenets of the faith that were handed down in the establishment of the Khalsa in 1699 wonderfully. They were great examples of that way of living that has guided Sikhs right around the world since then. And I think it's those gentlemen left unfortunately already, so I can't address them directly, but I really did want to commend them for the great way in which they conducted themselves throughout that whole show and opened up to the wider community of Australia just what Sikhs are and what they're like and what they're about. On that note, it is also important that each and every one of you can feel safe in your own community, can participate fully in our society without any apprehension or fear, and I too commend the work of the New South Wales Police over recent weeks and months to ensure that that is the case, that the law is applied sensibly, fairly and consistently to protect all people in New South Wales, and that's exactly the way we would want it, and I commend those who have been doing that to ensure that all of us here are safe, all of us here feel free, and all of us here can get about our lives without undue concern. On this wonderful occasion of Vaisakhi, I hope you enjoy it with your friends and families and in your community and live on that tradition that was established so many years ago. Happy Vaisakhi.
Thank you, Kevin, for your lovely speech. The award co-presenters, I would request Sardar Gobind Singh Ji and Glenwood Singh Ji to please come and assist in the next award ceremony.
Just one thing, just say just one thing.
Just one thing, Roy, if you can please come to the stage to take your award. I will call out the names who are getting awards in this section, and that's for a selfless service to Guru Kar. Mahendra Singh Nijjar, Harpreet Singh Gill, Naginder Singh Pandal, Surinder Singh, Lavpreet Singh, Jaswinder Kaur, and Kulvinder Kaur. So I request all of you to please come near the stage so we can get this awards ceremony quickly. Thank you. So this gentleman, Harpreet Singh Gill, has been very active in maintaining our gardens and all the little things around the Guru Ghar. So he's a landscaper by trade, so he does a lot of work in his free time to maintain the Guru Ghar. Thank you, Harpreet. Hanji. This is one of our gems who runs the kitchen roti machine, and he's been tirelessly working for a number of years to increase the capacity of our roti cooking machine. Thank you, Nagendra. So this young man is very helpful in the langar hall preparations, which I do every day. So Lovepreet Singh, he's another young gentleman who sometimes they work till 3-4 o'clock in the morning cleaning the Guru Ghar kitchen and all the big utensils, and they go in early hours of morning. So we really appreciate your services. Thank you so much. I don't know. And Kulvinder Kaur or Jaswinder Kaur, if you can please, if you are here, please come near the stage. I don't think they're here, so if we can get our co-presenters to give a memento to our guest, Mr. Kevin Conley. Thank you, Kevin, once again, and I'll request all the recipients to please come near the stage once more to take your photos. Thank you. Gears up, stay there. Bole so nihal. So I invite the next speaker, our dear David Shoebridge, to come to the lectern, please, to say a few words, and then we'll get the awards. David is, we thank him for patience. He has to go to another function straight after this one, so we really appreciate your patience. David, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ravi, and thank you to the Australian Sikh Association for the invitation to come today. Happy Vaisakhi. And I too, I'd like to acknowledge the distinguished guests we have in the audience. I won't name them. I'd also like to acknowledge we're here on First Nations land and pay my respects to those elders past, present and emerging of the land we're on today. But Happy Vaisakhi is a time to celebrate those wonderful values, those values of peace and happiness, and also protecting the downtrodden amongst society. And if you look at the work that this Gurudwara has done and this community has done over the last 12 months, I think you've expressed each and every one of those values. Helping those amongst us who needed help in the fires, then coming again and helping out when help was needed in the floods. But also just that constancy of giving, that constant generosity that you see from your community. And your community and Australia has received a huge amount from the Sikh community. And I think you deserve politicians and political leaders who won't just turn up on Vaisakhi and give you the right messages when it's easy, won't just turn up at invitations, take food when it's easy, but also turn up when you need political leadership in your communities. And you've needed that in the last few months. You've needed political leadership. It doesn't matter whether it's a Greens, which is what I am, a Greens MP, or any other political party. You've needed political leaders who will come out and call out the extreme right-wing violence that we see in India, but also has spilled over into the streets of your community, and to demand action, and to demand the police do their job and keep you safe. And I will commend the police for having done that in the last 24 hours, and we've seen one arrest. But I don't think we can leave it there. And I think it's about time that you demanded of your political leadership, not just coming out on Vaisakhi, but being here with you, calling out any extremist violence in the community, standing with you not just when it's easy, but also standing with you when it's hard. And I come back to those concepts of Vaisakhi, about peace and happiness, but also protecting the downtrodden and those in society who need protection. They're the values you should be looking for from your political leadership. Thanks very much.
Thank you, David. Thanks for your short speech. I know that you have got a record in the Parliament for speaking for 6 hours non-stop. Thank you. So the co-presenters of this part of the awards is Mr. Baljit Singh Pelia and Gobind Singh, who are our directors of Management Board. I'll call the name there for the awardees. The first one is Gobind Singh Gill. The next one I'll call Arvind Kaur Randhawa. So next to this is Amrinder Singh. Amrinder Singh. So after Amrinder Singh, Gurjeet Singh. Gurjeet Singh, if you can please come to the stage if you're here in the Darbar Hall. Gurjeet Singh. So I think he's not here, so Jugwinder Kaur Sidana. If Jugwinder Kaur Sidana is here in the whole Darbar Hall, please come to the stage for your award. Jugwinder Kaur Sidana, if she is not here, then I would ask the co-presenters to give an appreciation award to David. Thank you, David, for your time today to come to the Sikh temple to celebrate the Vaisakhi with all of your local Sikh communities. We're highly thankful to you. So we'll have a group photo now. Bole so nihal. So we'll not keep you longer here. So we've got the last part of our presentations. New South Wales Labor MP, Mr. Stephen Bali, if you can please come to the stage, so say a few words. Thank you. The co-presenters for this section of the board is Mandeep Kaur and Uncle Mohan Singh Ji. Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you very much. Happy Vaisakhi Day for everybody. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ka Fateh. So thank you very much for having me here at the Gurudwara. It's great to be back here again, and I know a few people, really if you look at the cavalcade of guests that you have here today, you can see the importance of the Sikh people and the Sikh community here in Glenwood and what you've done over the years. Having the alternative Premier here, Jodie McKay, you also, Michelle Rollins, the Federal Member for Greenway, Alex Hawke, the Minister for Immigration or Multiculturalism. Well, anyway, I just promoted him, it doesn't matter, he'd be happy with that. Kevin Connolly, the local state MP for Riverstone, David Shoebridge, and also our council representatives. I know we've got Bill from Parramatta, but Julie Griffiths, the Deputy Mayor representing the Mayor, who's at a seniors function. Maninder Singh, your very own local Sikh. It's great to see Maninder here, and you should be proud of his involvement. and hopefully you may have the first woman Sikh on Blacktown City Council. Pushpinder Kaur is with us as well, and she's been actively involved in the community. So good luck to Pushpinder in September when she runs with Julie Griffiths in Ward 2 for the Labor ticket there. So obviously seeing so many wonderful people here that have spoken strongly about their support for the Sikh community is great, but I'd just like to add to it this first Sikh school in the Southern Hemisphere, how wonderful it is to celebrate your culture, your language, your music, your dance through your own Sikh school, and that takes a lot of effort to develop, to go through the planning processes. And there's been some challenges through the government. Unfortunately, the state government hasn't thrown in too much financial support, but hopefully into the future we can gain more financial support. But thank you to each and every person in the Sikh community that's invested so much. And really, as we've heard from the other speakers, and very briefly, to mention as far as your religion is concerned, whether it's honesty and dignity is one of your penaments, as well as worship to God and service to the community. And we've heard in the past 12 months something like 60,000 meals have been served to those less privileged. And thank you from the bottom of all our collective hearts here for the efforts that you've done. And as many of the other speakers have talked about, peace is really important. Your ability to celebrate Sikhism, wearing the turban, etc., you shouldn't feel unsafe in any way. And I know we have members of the police force here. Thank you for the dedicated work that the police do. We've got Jason and his team here, that you can feel safe when you're walking through the streets of Blacktown, that you are in one of the most multicultural areas in Australia, and that we encourage you to celebrate your religion. And we know that there's challenges back in the homeland, whether it's on the political front or through COVID, but you know that here in Australia, your difference that you've made by getting involved, we appreciate you very much, and always feel safe. So thank you very much. Happy Vaisakhi Day. Waheguru Ji Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Fatah. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. We really appreciate you coming to the Guru Car again. The co-presenters for this section of the awards is Panj Kaur and our Assistant Gurudwara Secretary Gurjinder Pal Singh and Mohan Singh Ji as well. So I'll call out the names for the awardees. Gurinder Singh, the second one, Guru Kirpa Sevak Jatha. On behalf of that, I think Bhai Jagtar Singh is here. Arishdeep Singh, Bimla Jain, Satwinder Singh, and last one, Pranav Agarwal. This is Jagtar Singh representing Guru Kirpa Sevak Jatha. So these guys are working hard every day, cleaning all the dishes at the end of the day, and spend hours and hours cleaning up the kitchen, making it ready for the next day. So we thank you so much. Bole so nihal. So now I request Bimla Jain to come and take her award. Arishdeep Singh. If Arishdeep is in the Darbar Hall, please come to the stage for your award. Satwinder Singh, if Satwinder Singh is here, please come to the stage for your award. So we won't take much longer. This is the last section of the vote. After that, we've just got quick one or two speakers, and then we'll conclude our section of this this function. Pranav Agarwal. So after this vote ceremony, I'll invite Julie Griffiths, our Deputy Mayor of Blacktown Council. Yes, if the co-presenters can give Stephen his memento for the thanks for coming to Gurukar and celebrate the Vaisakhi function with Sikh Sangat. Thank you so much, Stephen. Bole Sonehal. We thank all these volunteers who are doing selfless service for the upkeep of the Gurukar and making the operations run smoothly every day of the week. Thank you so much. So I'll invite Julie Griffiths, Deputy Mayor from Blacktown Council, to come and say a few words. Thank you. If Dr. Maninder Singh can also come and join. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Happy Vaisakhi and Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. Welcome, everybody, and I'd like to acknowledge that we're on traditional land of the Darug people and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. I'd also like to thank the Sikh Association and also pass my respects on from the Mayor, Tony Bleasdale. Look, I'd like to say, a big thank you to the Sikh community. I've had the opportunity to work with you since I've been elected, and especially the work you've done through the fires and especially the floods. The community came together and cooked many meals down the south coast, and I had the pleasure of meeting many of the community members who were trucking truckloads of food down to the south coast, and I think and you're the first people on the scene, so can I say from a big heartfelt thank you to the community. You did a great job down there on the south coast for the fires. Can I also acknowledge Councillor Maninder Singh. He's on council with myself and all the other dignitaries that are here today, and the fact that they come here to enjoy the Vaisakhi today down at your beautiful temple. And I'd like to also acknowledge my running partner, Kushpinder Kaur, who will be the first female that will be running for the Sikh people in my ward. Kushpinder, thank you, and we normally get 2 elected in Ward 2, and I'm hoping that she'll be the first Sikh woman to be elected in Australia in local government. But once again, may you have a wonderful day and enjoy this beautiful temple. It's my home temple, so thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you.
फतेह नाल सांझ पाई है जी। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। टाइम ज़्यादा हो गया, मैं सारे इस पवित्र मौके ते, विसाखी के मौके ते सब मुबारक देना, और कमेटी का उपराला मैं बहुत बहुत इन्हों का धन्यवादी हाँ जिन्होंने उपराला किया और सारे सज्जनों बुलाया। समथिंग ऑन द लाइटर नोट, जो आईलैट का एग्जाम देने तो चैक करते भी 7 बैंड आए कि नहीं, मैं इन्होंने सारे टैक्सट किया सी वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह। तो हुण तुसीं दसना भी किन्ने के बैंड लए इन्होंने ये कहण दे विच, क्योंकि दूजे नूं कहना बहुत ईजी है। सो मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवादी हाँ फिर सारे सज्जन जिहड़े आए ने और इन्होंने टाइम कढ़िया, जिन्ने भी डिग्निटरीज, थैंक यू वेरी मच। स्टीफन बाली 11th आवर ते मैं रिक्वेस्ट की सी, तो ये भी आए ने। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह।
thanks Julie Griffiths and Maninder Singh Ji. Thank you for coming over. I think one of the awardees was absent before, so she's here, I believe, Satwinder Kaur. Kulvinder Kaur, if Panji Kulvinder Kaur can come to the stage, please. Kulvinder Kaur ji, if you can please come to the stage quickly. Thank you. Judge Jitendra, yeah. Bole so nihal. So I would request Pritpal Timona and Narendra Singh to give a memento to Julie Griffiths for coming to the Guru Kar and share the celebrations with the Sikh Sangat. Thank you so much. And just to remind that we would need a big help from Blackland Council because currently our kitchen extension work has been stopped by the council, so we would come and speak to you very soon. So just a forewarning, sir. Thank you. And thank you so much. And now the last speaker I would from the Air Police, the Quakers Hill Local Area Command, if they want to say a few words, otherwise we would just give you a trophy which was for Donna McCarthy. So on behalf of Donna, please come to the stage to take a memento as a part of thank you. And we massively thank you for the efforts that New South Wales Police has done to make arrest of one of the perpetrators last night. So this is really a very good news. Bill Terrell, the last but not the least, please. I keep on forgetting you, I don't know why. So I think we need to sit down more together so I get familiarized. Thank you. Thank you. Bill has been very helpful in dealing with the police during that Harris Park incidents. So he has got the help together to make our case to the New South Wales Police and has been attending a few meetings with the Multicultural New South Wales and other organizations. Malcolm Haddon and from Multicultural New South Wales, I believe they are still here. Dr. Malcolm Haddon on behalf of Multicultural New South Wales. And Sneha Chatterjee after that. Sneha is Sneha Chatterjee, she's from Home Affairs Department. So thank you, Alex. Thanks for your time. So we really appreciate your help. And just downstairs there's a Gatka performance happening. So if you guys, before you go, if you want to have a look downstairs, thank you once again. Sneha Chatterjee, thank you so much. And is there anyone left, please? Thida Yang, she's another young face of Multicultural New South Wales. Thida, please, if you want to come. By Jasveer Singh Ji, Gurudwara's manager, is to give award. Thank you so much, Thida. Thida is the front face of Multicultural New South Wales. She arranges all the meetings for us with the Multicultural New South Wales. Okay, this concludes our award ceremony. So on behalf of Australian Sikh Association, I thank all the guests for taking time to come today and celebrate the Vaisakhi with the Sikh Sangat. So downstairs, before you go, if you want to see, there's a Gatka performance, which is a martial art of Sikhs. If you want to view that presentation, it will be highly appreciated. So thanks once again. So, and yeah, Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. And ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਸਮੂਹ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੂਰਾ ਫੰਕਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਟੈਂਡ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕੀਤੀ। ਔਰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਰੇ ਮੈਨੇਜਮੈਂਟ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਦੇ ਦਿਹਾੜੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੱਖ ਲੱਖ ਵਧਾਈਆਂ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਆਨੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਕਰੋ ਜੀ।
सब कुछ है जितनी सुभावे सदा सदा तेरे नाम जिनके मन बसया वाजे शब्द करे कहे नानक सच्चे सर ज्ञान करते है सच्चा नाम साजना विराजा विराजन महा भगवान दर्शन सतमा है वसया जिन इच्छा सब जाना सदा कुर्बान कीता गुर बिटो गिरदी है बड़े अन्ना कहे नानक सुनो संतो शब्द होते यारो सच्चा नाम मेरा दारो वाजे पंच शब्द घर सुभागे शब्द वाजे तराज करतारिया पंच दूत दिवस कीते काल तट मारिया और करम पाया तू नणकु से नाम हर के लागे कहे नानक जसको वत करन वाजे अनंद सुनो बड़ भागी हो सगल मनोरथ पूरे पार ब्रह्म पाया तेरे सगल संता पितरे सुने सच्ची वाणी संत सज सर से पूरे गुर के जाने सुनते पुनीत कहते पवित्र सदगुर रहया भरपूरे जिनवंत नाम गुर चरण लागे वाजे नाम पूरे सरो पवन गुरु पाणी पिता माता तत्व महत